Warning: this video features images that you may find disturbing. Yesterday's shocking assassination of activist and father of two young kids, Charlie Kirk, has ignited a nationwide manhunt and unleashed a torrent of rage from his millions of supporters. Now, commentators worldwide are on the edge of their seats, bracing for what's next in this chilling tale of a nation torn apart. Picture a bustling university campus in Orem, Utah, on a mild September afternoon. Charlie Kirk, the outspoken conservative firebrand and founder of Turning Point USA, strides onto the stage, tossing hats to an enthusiastic crowd of over 3,000 students and supporters. He's there to debate, to challenge, to rally young conservatives in a state known for its Mormon roots and Republican leanings. But in an instant, a single crack of gunfire shatters the scene, felling Kirk with a bullet to the neck. Chaos erupts, screams, fleeing bodies, and the grim realization that political discourse has turned deadly once more. This isn't a distant memory from history books. It's yesterday's horror, a stark emblem of America's fractured soul. What led to this brazen assassination at Utah Valley University on September 10, 2025? Was it a lone gunman's grudge, a coordinated plot, or the boiling over of national tensions? As we delve into the eyewitness accounts, forensic findings, and swirling theories just 24 hours after the tragedy, we'll uncover the details of this targeted killing and what it portends for a nation where words increasingly invite bullets. I am your host, Martin. Welcome to It Gets Worse, the stage set for tragedy. Utah Valley University, nestled in the shadow of Mount Timpanogos about 40 miles south of Salt Lake City, is a vibrant public institution with nearly 47,000 students, many non-traditional and over 25 years old. On September 10, 2025, the campus hosted Turning Point USA's The American Comeback Tour, a series of events designed as Prove Me Wrong debates where Kirk engaged audiences on hot-button issues like free speech, cultural wokeness, gun rights, and immigration. Kirk, 31, was no stranger to controversy, a close ally of President Donald Trump. He had built a media empire mobilizing young Republicans, boasting millions of followers and a reputation for unapologetic rhetoric. That day, the outdoor setup in the Sorensen Center courtyard featured a white tent emblazoned with slogans like The American Comeback and Prove Me Wrong, American flags fluttering, and a large screen amplifying Kirk's words. The event kicked off around noon, with Kirk arriving to cheers, throwing hats into the crowd, and diving into discussions. Ironically, just moments before the shot, he was fielding a question about mass shootings and gun violence, a topic he had often addressed, once controversially stating that gun deaths were worth it to preserve. The Second Amendment. Security was present: 6 campus police officers, some in plain clothes but light for such a high-profile figure. No metal detectors, no extensive perimeter checks, a vulnerability in a post-Trump assassination attempt era. Attendees, including students like Tyler McGettigan, who noted the poor visibility from the back, milled about, assuming a typical rally atmosphere. Then, at approximately 4:30 p.m. local time, 12:24 p.m. in some early reports, but clarified as afternoon by authorities, the unthinkable happened. As Kirk spoke into a handheld microphone, a single gunshot echoed from a distance estimated at 200 yards, striking him in the left side of the neck. Blood gushed as he reached up with his right hand, collapsing on stage amid gasps and screams. Bystander videos captured the pandemonium, students scrambling, some initially cheering in confusion before realizing the gravity. Emergency responders rushed Kirk to Timpanogos Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead shortly after. His wife and family safe but devastated at the scene. Eyewitness accounts add layers of intrigue. Justin Hickens, about 20 yards away, described hearing a big, loud shot that cut Kirk off mid-sentence. More chillingly, several unverified but consistent reports from attendees and tips to police mention a man in a white cap standing behind Kirk on the stage periphery, filming with a phone. Everyone assumed he was part of Kirk's team, perhaps a staffer or videographer, but he wasn't. Seconds before the shot, witnesses say he touched his cap in what appeared to be a deliberate gesture, possibly a signal. Immediately after, cameras caught a fleeting shadow disappearing on a rooftop at the far end of the venue, aligning with police confirmations of the shooter jumping off a building and fleeing into a nearby neighborhood. This sequence raises questions. Was the white-cap man a spotter coordinating with the sniper? The precision of the single shot from a high-powered bolt-action rifle, likely fired from the LaCie Center rooftop, suggests meticulous planning, not a spur-of-the-moment act. No one else was injured, but the campus was sealed with yellow tape around the tent, and UView closed until Monday, delaying classes and assignments. Utah Governor Spencer Cox, a Republican, swiftly labeled it a political assassination, activating state and federal resources in a display of unified outrage. This wasn't random violence. It was targeted, leaving a nation to grapple with the why. The immediate aftermath and manhunt in the chaotic hours following the shot, a massive multi-agency response unfolded. The FBI's Salt Lake City field office, led by Special Agent Robert Bowles, assumed control of the investigation, classifying it as a potential act of domestic terrorism. By evening, authorities recovered a key piece of evidence, an older model imported Mauser, .30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle, wrapped in a towel, discarded in a wooded area near campus. The spent cartridge remained chambered, with 3 unspent rounds in the magazine, all reportedly engraved with phrases related to transgender rights and anti-fascist ideology, though officials have not yet confirmed if these point to a definitive motive. Forensic teams also found a forearm imprint, a shoe print size 10-11, common sneaker tread, and surveillance footage tracking the shooter's movements. The suspect, described as a college-age white male who blended in well with the crowd, arrived on campus around noon, used a stairway to access the rooftop, fired once, and escaped on foot. Video evidence, including bystander clips showing a figure running across the roof moments after the shot, supports this timeline. 2 individuals were briefly detained based on eyewitness tips but released after proving unrelated. As of September 11, 2025, the shooter remains at large, with good video footage withheld to avoid alerting him. 2 images have been released. These images were released just before we hit the publish button. These images are pretty darn good, and we assume finding him will be possible. We do have to stress that he is just a person of interest at this point and not a suspect. The FBI has set up an online tip line, urging submissions of photos or videos, and emergency traces on the rifle's origins are underway, with ATF involvement for ballistics and importer details. Reactions poured in swiftly, underscoring Kirk's influence. President Trump, on Truth Social, mourned the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk, ordering U.S. flags at half-staff until sunset on September 14th at all federal buildings, embassies, and properties abroad. He blamed radical left rhetoric for inciting violence, echoing broader conservative sentiments. Vice President G. Vance praised Kirk's commitment to civil discourse, while international figures like Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu offered condolences, calling Kirk a friend of Israel. Even across the aisle, figures like Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose family history includes assassinations, lamented. Once again, a bullet has silenced the most eloquent truth-teller of an era. Celebrities such as Elon Musk expressed shock on X, and former President Barack Obama, along with Chris Pratt and Jimmy Kimmel, paid tributes, emphasizing the need to reject violence. Turning Point USA issued a heartbroken statement. It is with a heavy heart that we confirm Charles James Kirk has been murdered by a gunshot. We ask for prayers for his young family. Vigils emerged nationwide, from makeshift memorials at TUS's Phoenix headquarters to candlelit gatherings at Timpanogos Regional Hospital and campuses. Across America, flowers piled up near the hospital sign, and well-wishers left notes at UView, reflecting on Kirk's legacy as a husband, father of 2 young children, and mobilizer of youth activism. Social media exploded with speculation. X posts highlighted isolated celebrations among some students, theories of a radical left motive, tied to Kirk's criticisms of woke culture, LGBTQ+ rights, and gun control, and unconfirmed links to his stances on Martin Luther King Jr. or immigration. One viral thread claimed the White Cap Man was the suspect or a spotter, fueling conspiracy talk. UView Police Chief Jeff Long estimated the crowd at 3,000, noting the light security footprint. Utah Commissioner of Public Safety Bo Mason described the shooter in all dark clothing, firing from a longer distance. The university, in shock, announced closures, with President Astrid Jimenez condemning the act as a threat. 2 open dialogue. This immediate response highlighted the nation's raw nerves, but the deeper questions loomed. What drove this act? Together the puzzle, what could have happened? With the shooter still at large as of this story's airing on September 11, 2025, theories abound, grounded in the available evidence. The single shot's precision from an elevated position, using a Mauser .30-06 rifle, evokes sniper tactics seen in historical assassinations like those of JFK or MLK. The engravings on the cartridges, reportedly expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology, suggest a possible ideological motive, perhaps retaliation against Kirk's vocal opposition to gender-affirming care, woke education, or what he termed degenerate ideologies. Kirk had faced threats before, including from online echo chambers radicalized by his debates. The user's eyewitness detail the man in the white cap touching his cap seconds before the shot aligns with speculation of coordination. If accurate, this could indicate a spotter relaying timing or confirmation to the rooftop sniper via a subtle signal, implying a conspiracy rather than a lone wolf. The shooter's profile, a young white male blending into a college crowd, points to a disgruntled student or local radicalized by social media or campus activism. UView had seen prior controversy. Over 6,800 students signed a petition against Kirk's appearance earlier in 2025, citing his harmful views. Though the event proceeded, alternative theories swirl. Could it be a false flag operation to inflame conservatives ahead of midterm elections? Some ex-posts suggest his two foreign actors, like those opposed to Kirk's pro-Israel stance, but evidence leans domestic. A personal grudge is possible. Kirk's outspokenness on immigration, MLK whom he criticized, or Second Amendment issues drew vitriol. Unverified reports hint at phrases on the ammo linking two anti-fascist groups, but authorities urge caution. The rooftop escape, captured in video as a shadow fleeing, matches the suspect's route, with the rifle discarded en route, suggesting a planned but hasty getaway. Preventability looms large. Why the security lapses? Witnesses like McGettigan noted no checks, despite Kirk's profile, in a nation scarred by attempts on Trump and others. This underscores vulnerabilities at public events. Forensic analysis DNA on the rifle, emergency traces on its origins may yield breakthroughs soon, but until then, the puzzle remains, a signal from a white-capped accomplice? Ideological hatred boiled over? The answers could redefine political safety, broader implications, a warning for America's future. Charlie Kirk's assassination isn't an isolated tragedy. It's a symptom of escalating political violence in a deeply polarized United States. From January 6, 2021, to recent threats against officials, rhetoric has increasingly manifested as deadly action. Kirk's death follows two assassination attempts on Trump in recent years, highlighting a rash of attacks on public figures. Governor Cox called it a dark day for our nation, urging an end to such acts that threaten discourse. Trump blamed leftist incitement, potentially deepening divides as elections loom. For America's future, this signals peril for free speech. Campuses meant for debate may clamp down, stifling voices like Kirk's who mobilized millions of young conservatives. If disagreement equals danger, youth activism falters, eroding democracy's foundation. Broader societal implications include rising unrest, copycat attacks, retaliatory violence from the right. With phrases on ammo hinting at cultural wars, this could exacerbate tensions over gender, guns, and ideology. Policy responses are crucial. Bipartisan calls for better security, like metal detectors at events, and addressing radicalization online. Kennedy Jr.'s statement evokes 1960s assassinations, warning of history repeating without unity. Economically, UView's closure disrupts education. Nationally, it fuels fear, potentially suppressing turnout or activism. To heal, America needs condemnation across aisles, mental health initiatives, and efforts to bridge divides lest more shadows lurk on rooftops, honoring a legacy amid the unknown. As investigations continue, Kirk's legacy endures. A high school dropout who built Tulsa into a powerhouse, influencing elections and culture. Trump plans to award him the Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously, calling him a symbolic reminder of compassion and courage. First Lady Melania Trump echoed this, while global tributes underscore his impact. Yet, the unknown gnaws, the white cap signal, rooftop shadow, engraved ammo clues to a larger plot. Forensics may reveal more, but Kirk's family, a wife and two children, bears the deepest loss. Remember him not for controversy, but his push for dialogue. What do you think happened? Comment your theories below. Subscribe for updates on this unfolding mystery. Rest in peace, Charlie. Let's take a moment and listen to what Mr. President has to say about Charlie Kirk.
In Utah, Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory, may God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.